Welcome everybody to Bitcoin Live, another amazing episode today on Friday, Good Friday. Hello everybody, and hello Shankar, welcome to Bitcoin Live.
Hi Nick, nice to have come back with you on this channel after a gap of nearly 2 months, and really happy to be here on Good Friday. And I really appreciate the title of our chat today. It's called "Good News on Good Friday," so it can't get better than that. So thanks for that lovely title.
Yeah, well, I really like to play with words, but I think there's also a lot of good news coming from Green Earth token.
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah.
just dive into it. And yeah, first of all, of course, what's the outlook on the crypto industry? Because a lot of has happened also with the market going up, going down. We're at sort of a decisive point right now. What is your view on the crypto market? Is there a recovery in sight?
I think that's a big question, and we do see recovery in the crypto market. But as we discussed in the last call, Nick, that the FTX meltdown in November was a significant event, and that would uh, surely have an impact that will probably move for even 6 months downstream up to May. So, and plus, from the last time we spoke, we have had a couple of larger bank uh, closures in the US, bank failures in the US, including Silicon Valley Bank. And these kind of events, they always put a risk off in larger investors. And I think, but what Bitcoin has been doing is it has been leading and creating a recovery. And that indicates that things are stabilizing, and probably the 16K level that we saw in December and Jan was a low that has been established, and it will surely try to test a 30K to 35K levels now before facing resistance. Even a 40K could be possible this year, but
Wow.
whether it will hold that and or come down again to a 20K level, that we can't say yet. But crypto market is recovering, and the kind of crypto winter we had last year, a big entire year of red, plus a lot of events. First it was Terra Luna, then it was FTX, significant damage to the industry, and so it does take time to recover. And also, I think the biggest takeaway is that the higher quality projects will be seen even more carefully now. And I think so, those who are interested in investing in truly decentralized Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, that is one group, and we all are in that group as well. But those investors who are looking for actual working projects that are using the blockchain technology, there I think the requirement for actual work, actual projects, actual users, use case, that will become even more higher now, and in a way that's positive for Green Earth.
Well, before we move on, I got two really sort of questions that are on the top of my list that, now I have the chance to ask them. One is about Dogecoin. I know you're a big fan of it, and it's recently at a big pump. So everybody's sort of curious about, where is it going next? So yeah, maybe that one first.
Yeah, sure. This is not the first time. In every single call, I think I have covered that as a token or a coin to be held. And we our analysis says that 2024 and 2025 can be big years
Yeah.
for Dogecoin. So whatever we are seeing now, these are small movements, and hence corrections should be used for buying. And even basically, one should just keep looking to buy because the bigger moves are 1 to 2 years away from now.
Okay. So be careful. Don't go all in. This is not financial advice anyway. But
Yeah.
but be careful what you're doing and have a long-term outlook. That is important.
Yes,
And
yes. I
then,
think that's a key point, that it is extremely popular among a lot of communities, Dogecoin, and it has and therefore very interesting use cases that are going to come up, and uh, it is in that sense a very interesting coin to watch out for what it can do.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a very bumpy ride. So that sort of comes to my next question, and then we'll move on. The banking crisis, you already mentioned it. Do you think it's contained, or do you think it's spreading? And how do you see Europe at the moment within that light?
I think that's a very important question, which is actually playing out at the back. One thing I'm very sure is that the central banks of the world have learned very clear lessons from 2008. So I don't expect them to make mistakes this time. So that's very clear. And the way the US Fed acted rapidly, swiftly, decisively was indicative of the lessons from 2008. Same for ECB as well. So uh, what we don't know is whether more banks will get impacted, because just like we said, the FTX can have 6 months downstream impact. These are even larger institutions, so there may be even more 6 to 12 months downstream impacts coming out. But I do think that the governments and central banks are quite committed to doing things very fast and decisively. So it won't, it may not be like 2008.
Okay,
So
and that will
it
be
will be contained. I think it, if things can fall because interest rates are rising rapidly, so there will be some effect from that into
yeah.
banks. But I think the central banks, especially US Fed, is very keen to do it with the control.
So that's positive for crypto as a whole, of course.
Yes.
So we're here for Green Earth blockchain. What are the recent updates, and how are things in development?
Uh, yeah, Nick, we are now in the first week of April, and Green Earth blockchain is uh, getting ready to go live. The e-commerce system, which is our partner called Ganga, uh, which is the e-commerce platform being developed in India on the ground, connecting farmers and food producers across India to consumers. That is in the final stages of development currently. The Green Earth blockchain system development is mostly done, and we are waiting to do the integration testing of these two systems. And once they are integrated, that is when the entire Green Earth model will go live, or will become ready to go live, where when consumers buy authentic food products on Ganga from the genuine farmers and genuine food producers, they will get Green Earth tokens as a reward for the participation in that genuine or honest blockchain, or the transparent blockchain that we are preparing. So this integration is a key milestone between the two systems, and that is currently planned for end of April. And
Wow.
therefore, we believe that by early May, the system should start working. And once the system is working, that is when all users and investors and clients can see for themselves how it works, what kind of benefits can come to different participants in the food supply chain. Currently, Green Earth will be integrating with Ganga, which is our strategic partner based out of India. But Green Earth is open to working with clients or authentic food producers worldwide. So the such producers or similar to Ganga in India, they can, if they are based in Europe or elsewhere, they can see how the model is working, and they can also consider integrating with Green Earth, so that their transactions also can be authentically tracked and reflected on Green Earth blockchain. So once a working model is in front of everyone, I think that's when the project takes off.
Definitely. And then the next question is, of course, how are you going to market Green Earth blockchain to clients and
Yeah,
investors?
uh, we are already getting some early interest from investors who are known to us. We have not gone to any investor so far. We have just placed the listed the GEBT token on Dextrade and Windex, and that's all we have done. And we have done no separate marketing of any type for the token. We haven't reached out to any investor as such, because we wanted to make the system live and working, and then go out with a working model to people who may be of a similar mindset as we are, and then they can evaluate what we are doing. So so in that sense, the marketing of Green Earth project to both clients and investors will be in parallel, because clients also need to see a working model to decide if they want to adopt it, and investors want to see a working model to decide if they want to participate in some way. So both these activities will start sometime in May once the system is live. That's when we plan to do a Yahoo Finance press release, do some videos, and then go with the Q&A session recorded, probably with you, and a couple of details about the system, and then reach out to investors explaining what we are doing. And so you can say from May onwards, we will go into the marketing work, and we are looking for uh, very few investors as such. Even if we get a few, that will be enough, because the system also will be producing income uh, on by itself. And so yeah, and Ganga is a very large project in itself, so there is a lot of work from the time the first go live happens with Ganga to and from that point till the year end, because the number of projects that will come go live on the Ganga e-commerce platform, we are planning to go live with about 100 products, food
Wow.
products, which is a very small subset of the total possible. And so it's possible that by year ending we may be at around 500 plus products, and by next year 1,000 or 2,000 products, because there is an effort involved in onboarding each food producer or food supplier, because we have to map the entire supply chain till the source, and ensure that the whole chain is getting tracked using our validators. So it is so the mapping of the supply chain as well as the tracking of the supply chain, those are essential elements for Green Earth blockchain. So it's a bit more effort than just listing a food product on the e-commerce site and then say okay, it's live, because we have to track a lot at the back and show all that tracking to the users, and that's the value proposition of Green Earth, the
Yeah,
transparency.
yeah, it is a big project. I mean, it has so many moving parts, and it's incredible what you guys already achieved. And I also recommend everybody to look and watch our previous videos where you go into Ganja project and the whole sort of idea behind blockchain, Green Earth blockchain. But people are also very curious about new listings on new exchanges. How are things looking on that front?
Yeah, that's a question we do get from some people about what all exchanges are there. Uh, we currently have Green Earth on GEBT token, on Windax and Dextrade. Dextrade is where our volume is about 50 to 55k USDT per day, and it is likely to go and reach 200k USDT by end of this quarter based on our current planning. So that's where we want to build the volume and grow the momentum, so that investors need certain larger volume to come in and go out to get the confidence of liquidity. And so rather than distributing ourselves on multiple exchanges, we have decided to focus on Dextrade and build the volume there. We have found their platform very efficient and very good. So that's the reason why we want to scale up the volume profile of GBT token on Dextrade and take it much higher than 200 to 50k USDT. In fact, as more capital becomes available from token sales, and so those are the existing exchanges. That's our plan, to build volume, and that makes a token more attractive to investors, because if they find the token's value proposition good, then the next thing they look is for liquidity to go in and go out if required, and that's what we want to offer, rather than thin patches of liquidity on 5 different exchanges. And but we do plan to add at least 1 or 2 exchanges this year, uh, and those discussions are already on with those exchanges. They're also mid-sized exchanges, and with different kinds of investor groups compared to the existing two exchanges where we are already there. So it will basically be a complementary new listing compared to existing listing. So that's also on the cards, and so we will see all that in the coming quarter.
Wow. So May will be very, very important, and people should keep a close eye out on GEBT.
Yeah, I think May will be the go live month, and for the Green Earth project, and that's the importance, very important milestone, because that's when the project actually starts and takes off. And for many of the investors and many of the clients of potential clients of Green Earth, that's when we start reaching out for the first time and telling them that we are now here, and would you like to learn more?
Yeah, basically, you already answered my next question about the volume. But how about the visibility for user base for Green Earth blockchain project development?
Uh, Actually, the user base, we are seeing a significant scale up in user base in for Green Earth, just from India, because as we know, that's a very large country with very large population, and we are talking about food supplies and food supply chains. So this is, and natural products, which are, let's say, herbal products and natural products, including, let's say, natural soaps or natural uh, healthcare products. So these are significant usage retail products, and so we are seeing a very clear path to 1 million users right within India. And as of now, we already have a visibility of about 100,000 users uh, as soon as we start, and so that is how we are seeing about 100,000 to 120,000 users within a few weeks of starting. They're all there, so it's a case of logistics to get them on board, inform them and get them on board. So, and then they will act as our affiliates and associates and get more users on board. So, and these are across India, so we are very confident of actually reaching 1 million users within India itself, and that already will put the GEBT token uh, ahead of, I would say, maybe in the user base, it will already be in the top 25 or top 30 tokens or coins in the world.
Wow, that is really impressive.
About
And
surely in the top 50, because there are many in the top 50 which don't have a million users.
yeah, no, no, but even if it's lower than that, it's still incredible, right? I mean, but you have to aim high, right? So
Yeah,
that's all.
like we discussed, the aim is to be there right behind Bitcoin, at that 5 to 10 million zone of
Yeah.
users, and that's where Litecoin is there today at around 6.5 million users. So it's possible because it's a utility token with a lot of usage. We are seeing, once it establishes, the token will be there everywhere that the food supply chain is going, and it'll connect all the users, all the participants in those food supply chains or natural product chains. So therefore, because it's a physical chain along with blockchain, we do see a significant user base scaling up once the project establishes itself. So in that sense, the token will have has the inbuilt potential to have a large user base, and hence become useful for the people who are having it. The aim is to reward everyone involved in this transparent, honest chain, and I think we will do that. It may take a year or 2 years, but we will get there. The visibility is there of that user base.
Yeah, so this is all good news, like we said, and I think last time you also mentioned something about going live in North America at some point.
Yes, the same model of uh, connecting Green Earth with genuine food producers or producers of natural products, whether it is the fruit farmers or vegetable farmers or poultry producers, whoever they are. The aim is to connect them, get them connected with Green Earth, so that we can authentically track them from the source level, and then people know that yes, whatever they are buying uh, from those food producers or food sellers is completely tracked and authenticated in a transparent way. So yes, uh, USA or North America is a large market, and so is Europe. And so we do plan to have some setup here, one bit by bit. So once we have, first we have to establish in India with, because that's where we have everything ready. So once we do that, then we can, and based on the feedback and the kind of capital that comes to us for scaling up, we would initiate the next steps, whether it is Middle East, Europe, or North America.
Wow, that's incredible, and I'm really happy to hear that. We can definitely use Green Earth blockchain over here.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, we
is
are in
there
Europe, right?
anything?
So we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I mean we can definitely use a
Mm.
project like this, which I mean it has many use cases as we sort of went through. It sort of promotes local production. It dramatically reduces costs. It makes things transparent. It takes out the middleman. It makes things more affordable. I mean, it has so many benefits, and it is of course good for the environment.
Yeah. Yeah, in
So
fact, the Green Earth, what we have is the Green Earth transaction rating score that has all these factors which basically make local transactions without any kind of uh, preservatives or chemicals, or the most attractive transactions to release tokens. So basically, if you think of tokens being mined or tokens being released for a certain product, the most attractive mining of tokens will happen with local transactions without, which are fresh produce. That is the highest grade transaction. So, for example, if somebody is delivering fresh honey from his farm or some fresh milk which is tracked by us, those will be the highest grade products in terms of releasing tokens. And as we, and these are also the most environmentally friendly transactions because they involve minimum carbon footprint. They involve minimum, like the packaging will be the simplest packaging possible because of the small distances involved, and absolutely no worry about food going bad because time frames of transportation will be very low. So that's why, so in our whole scheme of the ratings that we get, the each transaction that comes that happens in the e-commerce partner, that transaction is rated and graded by Green Earth to get a score, that what is this transaction score, and accordingly the tokens are given out. So if so yes, the entire model is aimed to benefit local economy, local transactions, uh, and environmental friendly transactions, because we are tracking that as well, that what is environmentally friendly and what is not.
yeah, yeah, and it will generate new jobs, like you say, and it will improve our general health. So what is not to like about it? Yeah, and you also said something to me that you're wanting to do a monthly update on Green Earth token.
Yes, because as we now move towards the go live of the system towards end April, we are planning the integration testing now this April, and then Ganga project, the e-commerce platform is also reaching its completion of development, and the products will be launched on it, and then we go live with the combined and working model of Green Earth blockchain visible to the world. So from that point onwards, the updates and developments will be at a much bigger pace than what we have today, because today we have only our teams working and reporting to you, uh, and then we have tokens which are sitting on the exchanges and not getting marketed. But once we start going and doing the marketing, we would have news on what happened in the token during that month, what kind of volumes we saw. Then we would also have feedback coming from the farmers on the ground, which we want to show in these videos, that what are the farmers who are in distant rural areas, they are receiving these tokens, and we want to get that feedback to you and to the users, that this is how the model is working in real life, where the tokens are actually going into places where no tokens have gone before. I think that's the other point which is worth noting, that so far, if you think about the cryptocurrency tokens and coins, they have mostly been with, let's say, tech savvy people,
Yeah,
right? But
Yeah.
the way we are seeing the Green Earth GEBT token will be going to people in the remotest corners, because they will be farmers, food producers, they'll be working in logistics, trucks, packaging. They will be getting the tokens now.
So this will also be a huge driver for crypto adoption in general.
Because exactly, so for example, if you think of the million users that GEBT is expecting in India, it is safe to assume that 80% of them would be first time crypto users.
Yeah.
That will be the first crypto that they will ever have, the token.
And that of course also demands like a big user friendliness from Green Earth blockchain to make it sort of usable for
Yes,
them.
it requires a lot of effort in multiple language support if they have questions, because they'll have different languages, and we cannot expect them to be at the same level of tech savviness as we are. So therefore, we will have support teams that will help them even to understand. And there's also a plan to have very clear and simple educational videos, because that's the other point here. Good, we talked about it, that uh, for example, in each market, like for example, India is a market we are going to, and then we have Ganga as partner. Our goal there is to work on the blockchain education, awareness and education of that. So it is through GBT token that we will be bringing the awareness of what a token is and how it works and how they can hold it, and how it can benefit them when they hold it for a long time and in a working project like ours. So you can imagine that a large thousands, in fact thousands or over a million users, new users to crypto will be coming through GBT, and it is our responsibility to educate them about not just GBT token, because that will also be their first token in many ways. So also about what is a token in the first place, and how do you actually hold it, how do you actually come to an exchange and convert it into a fiat if you require. So all those steps, there will be videos in multiple languages that we plan to develop, and then keep educating, because there's a lot of need for education given the fact that our users will be first time token users.
And this project, especially the scale of it, will also really put India on the map when it comes to crypto, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of regulation in India. It keeps evolving very regularly about what's possible, what's not possible. But the way our project is structured, this is meant for the benefit of the rural economy. And the biggest beneficiaries of the GEBT token will be the farmers in rural India, because their products, which are authentic and high quality, they will be going out and getting visible to users in the cities and metro cities. And so they will get paid anyway, and people will know that these farmers are there in these towns and villages which are producing the good products. So they get visibility for their work, plus they get rewards as GPT token, which they don't have to pay. It's a reward for their work. And over time they would, if they continue to do good work, they would have a bundle of tokens that they would have earned for their work. And
Yeah.
so that's how we see something good accumulating at their end, by virtue of them, as long as they can continue to maintain themselves as part of our chain, because we will have strong quality control checks all the time. So that's a big condition, and our validators will keep checking that. So 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 as long as suppliers and farmers maintain quality, they keep benefiting with tokens. On the topic of validators, we are, like we mentioned earlier, we are currently looking at least 10,000 validators this year
Wow.
for Green Earth in India, at least. So 10,000 validators is basically like 10,000 nodes in a blockchain, because each of these validators would be responsible for quality control in his area, as well as in informing Green Earth project to potential farmers and potential food suppliers in his area. So it's a double job. It's a job of information sharing to get on board new food producers, plus validating what's already there on the chain, or already there with us, ongoing basis. So the quality control plus information sharing, that's the purpose of each validator. like almost like a node in a blockchain. And so we
Yeah.
will have 10,000 of them. That's our plan for this year.
And then, of course, also the help desks to help these people, explain
Yeah,
tokenomics, farmers. Yeah.
those. In fact, the exchange that we will list, GEBT in India, they also would have those teams to support, but we ourselves will also have.
Yeah, well, this is all really amazing news, and I love it. And probably also important to mention again that Green Earth runs on Algorand, right?
Yes, Green Earth uses Algorand blockchain protocol, which is the fastest and most efficient blockchain protocol for any kind of e-commerce transactions, lowest transaction costs, and highest performance and throughput. So it was a natural choice for us to use Algorand for Green Earth because we do see it's an e-commerce based blockchain. So we need high throughput, and when the system scales up, we will have thousands or even millions of transactions each year. So we will need lowest cost as well, which Algorand has. So overall, we are quite satisfied with how the Algorand blockchain has worked out. Though there was a security alert last month about the MyAlgo wallets, which is not Algorand blockchain as such, but it was the leading provider of wallets for the Algorand blockchain, the MyAlgo wallets, and they issued security alert that that users should go out of them into other options. So that did take a lot of time and took a lot of people by surprise on how do they secure their tokens in wallets. So we were also tied up with that, but there was no impact in our project, and we have done the necessary steps.
Yeah, and then of course these projects are still in development, and things keep changing. So you get these issues now and then they pop up, and luckily they get fixed quickly, and usually there's nothing going wrong anyway, right?
Yeah, as it is good that we were still in development stage, because suppose we are already live and
Yeah.
very liquid, then if the tokens are very liquid and at 1 USDT or 1.1 USDT, they are very attractive. So there will be a higher risk from hackers when we get to a higher liquidity like a million plus per day. So in a way, in that sense, this came at a time when we were still getting to go live, and we haven't faced an impact.
Well, Shankar, I thank you for giving us this good news and all these updates and developments. And I can't wait to hear the next one. And especially the closer we get to May and beyond, the more exciting things we'll get. And I'm very honored and happy that you come on Bitcoin Live to talk about it.
Thank you very much, Nick, and really happy to share these updates with you today. And on behalf of my Green Earth co-founders and Green Earth team members, I say thank you to you and all your viewers. This is our preferred channel to share updates, and so in that sense, we are always happy. And this is the first place we come to share updates, and we plan to do that every month now because a lot is lined up this year. Thank you very
Well,
much.
really, really appreciate it. And I wish you all the best on the project. We keep following it and sharing information and keep educating people on Green Earth blockchain.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody.